This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Give online therapy a try at betterhelp.com/Lindsay's and get on your way to being your best self. Stop comparing and start focusing with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Lindsay's today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Lindsay's, LINDSEYS.
Yay Networks.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Cornelius, and welcome back to another episode of This Is Life with Heather and Cornelius. Heather's not with me today because the babysitter decided she wanted to be late. But hey, this is life. This is life. This is what happens. This is what happens. We're in this thing, we live in life the same way y'all are. So, hey, Heather sends her love, which is me. So y'all stuck with me right now. It is what it is. I even forgot, my wedding ring. I took it off this morning, but hey, we got tattoos on our fingers. So, even when we don't have it on, it's on. You feel what I'm saying? But nevertheless, we're going to talk today about supporting your friends who are depressed. So I have some really, 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 really dope friends. Some really, really dope friends. And some of those relationships I have had to, I've had to really work on to make sure that they were appropriate for the, for that depressive event to happen. And so here's some things that I think are extremely important to understand. Number one, if you are that friend who is seeking to support someone who is depressed or who suffers from anxiety and all those different things, then one thing you're going to notice about them is you're going to notice they're going to slowly start pulling away from you and from everyone else. You're going to slowly start to see them start to pull away from society. So where they may have been a lot more social, you'll start to see them kind of pull away, not saying as much. No, I don't want to go out, or no, I don't want to do anything, or no, I don't want to, or, you may always be like, well, do you want to talk about it? And they're just like, no, I don't want to talk about it. And especially in those type of situations, when you're asking someone, do you want to talk about it? I've had friends who said, do you want to talk about it? And then when I told them, no, I didn't want to talk about it, they actually got upset with me because they were like, well, I feel like you should want to talk about it. And they made it, in my opinion, they made the whole situation about them. And well, we're supposed to be friends, so you should want to talk about what's going on with you. Or they internalized the fact that, I was starting to pull back. They internalized that as, you don't like me anymore. You don't want to be friends anymore because you're starting to pull back. You're not texting me as much. You're not calling me as much. When the truth of the matter is that for me, I was going through my own depressive episode. And I also have friends who suffer from depression and high anxiety and everything else. And if I can just say this, the men out here right now, if I just had to gauge the men I'm around, and I host men retreats once a quarter, sometimes multiple times a quarter. And so I feel like I have a pretty good gauge on men from all different sectors. And I'm just going to say, based on what I hear around the table and what I see, it's not good. It's not good at all. The number of guys I've had who have shared with me the thoughts they've had of taking their own life is so sad. And here's the thing, you would never know it because their charisma carries them so far and they're able to turn it on in the blink of an eye. And so you would never be able to sit back and be like, oh, I can see it in you, because, you know, they're great performers. They're extremely charismatic. They are amazing preachers. They are prolific. They are inspiring. They are motivating. So you would never really know it. And these guys are hurting. They're suffering. And one of the things that I've had to learn, number one, like I was saying, you being in that position, you have somebody who's like, well, I want to talk about it. And they say, I don't want to talk about it. That's as a friend, that's not your time to then be like, well, you need to talk about it, or force them to talk about something they don't want to talk about. One question that has just changed the dynamic of all of my friendships, this one question is so important because it's so non-invasive and it is so helpful that it is like, it's almost reassuring. But the question that I ask, and now my friends ask me, because before it's almost like as a friend, I would have to teach them. I remember I had one friend who would, I would tell him like, yeah, man, today's not a good day. And I'm very honest. If you ask me how, like, well, how's today for you? I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm like, hey, today's not a good day. If you're a complete stranger, like, hey, how you doing? I'm not doing all that great, but you know what? I'm going to be good soon. I'm going to be very honest with you. That's just how I am. But he would ask me, he'd say, so how you doing? And I would say, today's not a good day. And he would say, oh, don't say that. We're going to have the best day of our lives today. And I would let that go on and on and on for a certain amount of time. And then, one day we're sitting down together and he's like, hey, how's today? And I was like, man, today started off really dark, and, we started moving forward. And he said, hey, Cornelius, I want you to stop. And I said, hey, bro, let me say this. I said, if you want this to remain a safe place for me to be able to be honest with you, then I need for you to stop telling me what to say and listen to me when I say it. But if you don't want this to be a safe place and you want me to just pretend, then I can do that too. I know, here's the thing. A lot of our friends, they know what to do. It's not like they don't. Our friends know that they need to say, today's going to be an awesome day. They know they have affirmations. They probably have the freaking affirmations written down on their freaking bathroom mirror, like, or on their refrigerator, in their car. They're probably listening to them all day long. I don't know. But we know all those things, but just because we know them does not mean that at every point in time that we're actually using them. And here's the other thing. People are going through so many things that you don't even know about. I know you're like, well, these are my friends, and I feel like you feel like their life, but they may be having financial instability right now that you don't know about. They don't want to share with you because they don't want to be judged by you. They may have relationship issues right now they don't want to talk to you about, because they talk to you about it, then guess what? You're going to still be mad at their spouse or at their partner long after they've gotten over whatever the issue is. So they don't want to talk to you about it, because last time they talked to you about it, you told them you just need to leave that person forever. And then now they want you to be as single as they are. And you're like, well, I don't want that. I still love this person. We're just going through a hard place right now, but they don't know how to be able to put that into the right box to be able to, you see what I'm saying? Like, people are going through crap. And you're sitting up here and you're like, well, you just need to tell me what you're going through, or, you just need to get over it. Like, what the freak is that? No, if you want somebody to be honest with you, and if you want to maintain a safe environment for people to be able to talk to you, then you have to open up your 2 ears to listen and close your mouth. That is not the time to tell people what they need to do. That is the time to reassure people in the moment and say, and I mean, if you know how they feel. If you don't say that. But if you do, I know how you feel. I'm sorry. Or, hey, I know how you feel. Like, whatever that is, that reassuring statement in the moment. Hey, I'm here with you. Hey, I really hate you're going through that. But the one question that we always ask that goes into all of those reassuring statements that I normally give is, how can I be a brother to you? That's it. How can I be a brother to you? My friends could come to me right now and say, Cornelius, I just hit this person over the head with a shovel, and they are unconscious right now, and I'm not sure what to do, and I'm freaking out right now. And my response is going to be the same. And they know it. They already know it. They laugh at me because they already know it. But here's the thing, they use it too. My response is always the same. My response is, how can I be a brother to you? How can I be a brother to you? And for you, it may be, How can I be a friend? How can I be a friend? I don't know. I heard what you said. Yeah, I heard what you said. You hit them over the head with a shovel. They're down right now. Blood's everywhere. You got blood all over you. I don't know if we could call the police. I mean, you're freaking out. And right now I'm freaking out too, but I don't want to show you that I'm freaking out. But how can I be a brother to you? How can I be a friend to you? And that next part that comes after that is super important. I'm going to tell you what that part is right after that.
Babe, since I turned 40, can you admit my hormones have gotten a little crazy? Mm-hmm. Wow, is that what we're doing?
You told me to admit it.
Okay, I want you to be honest, but I just started taking MixHers, and it is an incredibly amazing nutritional supplement for all of our podcast listeners, or for people who are struggling with mood swings, PMS, balancing your hormones. You guys, this is where it's at. MixHers is a nutritional supplement that helps balance your hormones from your first period to your first hot flash. You are not alone. This struggle is real, okay? MixHers wants to be with you every step of the way, you guys. Have I not been raving to you, babe, about MixHers?
Yes.
This stuff is delicious. It's easy to stick to MixHers because it actually tastes so good. Now, I want you guys to join the thousands of women who have discovered feel-good freedom through balanced hormones. Come on, freedom. Head on over to mixhers.com/thislife and use promo code thislife at checkout for an additional 10% off your order. Now, y'all, MixHers rarely gives discounts, so 10% is the best offer you're going to find. Remember to use my promo code thislife for an additional 10% off.
So now you ask them, how can I be a friend to you? Now, remember, in this moment, two things can happen. Number one, they may be safe enough to give you an action that you can take. And if they do, it is very important that you do your best to fulfill that action in that moment. The reason being is because they're in such a vulnerable state at that time that if you are asking them how you can help, and if you have the ability to help, which is scriptural, if you have the ability to help and you don't help, then it could push them into further darkness. I've seen it happen. I've witnessed it. Where it's almost like, well, why would you ask me how you could help me? And then when I tell you how you can help me and you have the means to help me, you don't even help me. That doesn't even make sense. And now they do what? They close down. Or number two, you ask them, hey, how can I be a brother? How can I be a friend to you? And then they respond, they say, I don't know. I remember I had a guy, we're sitting at the table. He's telling me he's married, he's got kids, and he's sitting at the table and he was just telling me how he was just tired. He's like, I'm tired of living. He says he's tired of everything. He said, I'm just tired. And I looked at him and I said, how can I be a brother to you? And he broke down. He just put his head down. He just cried. I mean, he cried and he cried and he cried. I put my hand on his shoulder, He put his head on my shoulder, and he just cried. He just wept. And then he pushed himself back about 5 minutes later. And he said, you know why I'm crying, bro? I said, no, I don't know. I said, but I would love to know. He said, because ain't nobody ever asked me that before. He said, and now, listen to this. He said, because nobody's ever asked me that before, he said, I'm having a hard time answering the question. How sad is it that we live in a society today where we don't even know how to have and how to allow people to help us? That when we have people in our life who say, I want to help you, how can I help you? We don't even know how to respond to it. And so you may get that a lot. I don't know. Or I got some friends who'd be like, I guess just pray for me. And I look at them and I say, done. I can pray for you right now. But after I pray for you, what else? I don't know, bro. I don't know. One thing that my friends and I will do as well is we'll start throwing out things. Like, I had a buddy, just last week who I texted him. I said, hey, how you doing? And he said, oh, I'm cool. And my friends and I, we all know we never ask just once. The first, how you doing? That's a throwaway. It's always the second one. How you really doing? He said, man, I'm not good. He said, I'm not okay. I said, yeah. I said, you want to talk about it? He said, no. I said, cool. Completely fine. I said, hey, I know what we can do though. I said, let's get some ice cream. And he was like, you's a big child. He was like, ice cream? He's like, bro, we're not 6. I was like, bro, let's go get some ice cream. Like, let's just go be kids. Like, let's get some ice cream. And he was like, I don't know, like ice cream. He's like, bro, I haven't had ice cream in a long time. He's fit and all this kind of stuff. He's like, I had ice cream. I was just like, bro, let's just go get some ice cream. Like, yeah, I got finished working out today. And he's like, I ain't even worked out today. I was like, bro, just go to the gym, throw some weight around for a little bit. Let's get some ice cream. So he did that, went to the gym. He hit me and he was like, yo, what you doing? I said, yo, I'm waiting on you. He was like, you didn't get ice cream yet? I was like, nope, I'm waiting on my friend. I want ice cream, but I'm gonna wait. I'm waiting on my friend. And he was like, I don't know. I said to him, I said, well, this is how you can be a brother to me today. Because a lot of times for men, especially, and a lot of times for women too, we want to feel needed. And so I know how to speak to my friends because most of the time they jump into Superman mode on how they can help me. And then I do the same thing. Like anything happens, I want to jump into Superman mode on how I can help them. So I said to him, hey, if you want to be a brother to me today, go get ice cream with me because I need a brother right now. And he was like, all right, bet. Send me to the ice cream place. So I Google places and send him an ice cream place. We get to the ice cream place and we're just sitting there. You see these two big dudes in there. And we're just like, yeah, give us, it was crazy. It was like all these kids running around and it's just us in the ice cream place. We got some ice cream. And I said, bro, let's go sit down outside. We sat down outside, sitting outside, we're eating our ice cream. And, just looking around, I was like, man, it's like super quiet outside. I'm not even trying to bring up his whole situation. He just put his head down and he was like, man, you'll never believe what happened. I said, what happened, bro? And he just opened up. I just listened to him. I listened to him. And I said, hey, how can I be a brother to you? He said, man, honestly, sitting down getting this ice cream with you right now, he's like, which I thought was the weirdest thing in the world. He said, this actually works. He's like, man, I'm glad I did this. He said, I'm probably about to go out right now and let off some more steam. And I said, what are you thinking about doing? He told me he's thinking about doing. I said, dope. That's dope. That's cool. But I was like, how about we think about doing some other stuff? Let's think about doing some other stuff. Maybe a little bit more productive, And he was like, I don't know, bro. I'm like, hey, whatever you decide to do, I'm with you. I'm for you. I'm your brother. I don't care what you decide to do. I'm with you and I'm for you. But when you have people who are dealing with, depression and you have people who are in those dark places, like sometimes just letting people know that you're with them. That's so important because there have been times where my friends who are in dark places, they'll send me a text and they'll say, hey brother, hey, I don't know what you're doing right now, but I really need somebody to talk to. Hey bro, give me 10 minutes. I'm on the phone right now. I call you later. 10 minutes later, call him on the phone. Hey man, what's going on? Man, you know what? I didn't even know who to call, bro. And I'm like, yeah, what's going on, man? You'll never believe it. I'm like, yeah, I probably will, bro. Just let me know. And then we get to talking and I listen. Because remember, when your friends are going through hard times, that is not your time to now give them a sermon. They don't need a speech. They don't need Bible verses. I don't even need to jump right into, well, let me pray for you right now. No, stop. Just stop for a minute. Listen to what they're saying. Because for some people, they just need to say it. They need to get it out. They need to be heard. Because what they're doing is they're suppressing. And also what they're doing is they're trying to prove to themselves that this space is safe enough for their words. And if you make this place less safe by always providing your doggone opinion and you gloat about it, well, I'm that friend who's going to always tell you the truth. Nobody wants your truth right now. We just want you to listen. Shut up. Listen. That's why nobody tells you anything. Because you got to be so doggone spiritual about everything. But is it sin in your life? Could you please just shut up? Just let the person talk. How can I be a friend to you? Hey, I don't know. I said, I love to throw out different stuff. Look at some cookies. Hey, you want to go work out? You know what? I was thinking about going to the gym today. What time are you going to the gym? I was thinking about going at 2. Well, I went this morning at 7, but I'll go back at 2 with you. I just walk around the gym with you. For real? Yeah. No doubt. Let's do it. I'll meet you there at 2 o'clock. All right. Hey, what you doing right now? I ain't doing nothing. I'm just sitting in the crib. Hey, you want me to stop by? Man, I really think I want to be by myself. All right, cool. I can send some food over to the crib if you're hungry. You hungry? Man, I hadn't ate all day. Bro, let me send you something real quick. Man, this hamburger spot is off the chain. Let me send you a hamburger real quick, man. I know you don't like it with tomatoes, right? But I'm going to put extra tomatoes on there because you need some tomatoes in your life. Man, don't put no tomatoes on my, and then, it's and then, they get the burger. And for you may think, I'm just sending them a hamburger. For them, that means they got thought about. That means they were seen. That means somebody is not abandoning them. For them, that gives people so much hope. For you, it was just a DoorDash delivery. For them, it meant the world to them. And if we can continue to practice things like this, man, our relationships will change. There's one more thing that I love to do with my friends, and I want to share those with you, and I'm going to share those with you right after this break. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Give online therapy a try at betterhelp.com/Lindsay's and get on your way to being your best self. Me wanting to be a brother to you, by doing that, like I said like I'm saying in the podcast, sometimes we don't know what we need, and it's cool if we throw out certain suggestions. And a suggestion I want to throw out to you is give BetterHelp a try. Maybe you've been on the fence about therapy because you're just not sure. And then you're comparing your life to everybody else's, trying to figure out, are you good enough? Are you not good enough? All those different things. You have all these different symptoms of depression and anxiety and all these things going on. You're not getting the help that you need. And all you're doing is you're just moving forward, or at least you think you are. You're on a hamster wheel. You're in a rocking chair. You have a lot of motion, but you're not going anywhere. And as a brother, I want to say to you, try BetterHelp. BetterHelp has been, we've been talking about it for years. The fact that they have licensed professional therapists who can be able to help you. And here's the thing. It's not just comparison issues or depression. If you have family issues, if you have sleep, you're not able to sleep. If you have relationship issues right now with you and your boo, and you just got stuff going on in your life and you're like, yo, I need some help. BetterHelp is there to help you. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. You just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist. And here's the thing. You can switch therapists at any time. Stop comparing and start focusing with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Lindsay's and get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Lindsay's, LINDSEYS. So we're back, and we're talking about what happens or what to do when your friends are depressed and you're trying to figure out how you can be there for them. And some of the things that I've shared is the biggest thing is I love to ask my friends when we're conversing, and they also ask me, how can I be a brother to you? Or in your case, how can I be a friend to you? In your case, how can I be a sister to you? Whatever it is, how can I be a brother to you? That's my main question. How can I be a brother to you? And then, if you don't know what that response is, or they don't have a response, they can't think of anything, then you're just providing them with certain things that can ultimately help them. So it is, hey, you want to get some ice cream, or you want to get some cookies, or hey, let's grab a burger real quick, or I know you really like this spot down the street. Hey, you want to go check it out, or hey, you want to go work out, or hey, do you want to go for a run, or hey, you're by yourself. Another thing that has really helped me with my relationship with my friends is when I start to realize they're in that deep spot, is I'll say, hey, you just want to hang out. And for them, they know what hangout means. Hangout does not mean we have to talk about anything. Hangout means we're just going to just be together, because sometimes it's just being in the presence of someone else is needed. So there was a time in my life where, when I tell you I was depressed, I was suicidal, I was everything that, oh my God, it was like the worst thing in the world. It was just, I didn't want to live anymore. And I called up one of my guys, and he bought me a ticket, and I flew out to Montana, and I got there in the house, and he put me up there, and he's just like, dude, as ever long as you need to, I want you to be here. And I sent out a message to a group chat to my friends, and I just said, hey, really don't know how to do this, but just wanted to let you know that I'm headed up here, and I would love some company. Yes, it's a 911 situation. That was it. And some of the guys were like, hey, I'm praying for you. I can't do it because I'm doing this. I'm praying for you. I'm there with you, blah, blah, blah. And I knew they were. And I had one friend who said, when are you going? And I said, I'm actually leaving today. And he said, all right, I'll be there, because I'll figure it out. So I got there, and the next morning, I got there one night. The next morning, he showed up. He flew in from town. He walks in the house. He has his luggage. He goes in, puts his stuff in the other room, and I'm just kind of laying there on the floor, like I'm out of it. And he looks at me and he just says, you okay? I'm like, nah, I'm not. He said, yeah, I can tell you're not. You look like crap. And I was like, you laugh a little bit. It's just like, oh, shut up, bro. But him being there, he didn't ask me, you want to talk about it? He was just like, I'm going to sit with you. I remember I was just laying on the couch, and he was laying on the other end of the couch. And we were just laying there. TV wasn't on. We was just kind of laying there. And he got up. He went outside. He started looking at the sunset. And I was like, man, that looks pretty dope. Got up. I went outside with him. Started looking at the sunset together. I just broke down. He was like, yeah, man, I know. It's okay. He's like, I'm here with you. Don't worry about it. I went back inside. I laid on the couch. He was like, dude, I'm going to throw a pizza in the oven. You want pizza? And I was like, I really don't, but I'm hungry, so I ate some pizza. Threw some pizza in the oven. He's like, I know you like bacon, so I'm going to throw some bacon in the oven, And then after he got finished, and he brought it over to me, I ate. He took the plates and everything and started cleaning up the kitchen, and he started putting stuff away. And I'm just like, man, this is friendship. In the lowest moment of my life, he just came to just be a presence. That's it. And I've learned that being present with someone, it means more to me than a sermon you can preach to me. It means more to me than some song I can sing over and over again that I hope touches my heart. It means more to me than flowers you can send. It means more to me than a card you can give. It means more to me than anything else. The fact that he was just willing to sit there. This man canceled his entire week just to sit there with me, just to sit there. We sit there, and he's like, you want to watch TV? And I was like, yeah, bro, let's watch TV. What you want to watch? I was like, I just watched First 48. And he's like, he's like, that's the reason why you depressed. You up here, you watching murder shows and you watching people dying. He's like, bro, I'm just playing. He's like, come on, let's watch First 48. He's like, I've never seen it before. I'm going to watch it with you. And I'm sitting there watching it with him. And he's like, dude, how are you fascinated with this? I'm just like, bro, it's like, it's like, it's good because like it's murder mystery and it's like helping you to figure out who is who. He's like, you already know who it is because who is not, they blurred their faces out. So you know the suspect because the suspect face ain't blurred. I was like, yeah, but then you want to know if Pookie gonna tell on, Token, and you don't know if they're gonna tell. But just those little moments, man, we laughed. And then like he'll pull up something stupid on TikTok and be like, yo, you see this? And I was just laughing. And then, I have my time where I break down again and I cry. And we talk for an hour. We talk for 2 hours. He's like, come on, let's get something to eat. Let's go sit at the table. Or let's go outside. Let's go for a walk. Or come on, let's go over to the gym. Or let's go do this. But it's being present with someone. We don't do enough of that. And I get it because we live in a technological world where we think that we think we're in close proximity with someone just because we like their picture. And that's not true. If we want to be close with people, if we really want to get to know people, we have to be willing to do what many, of us quote unquote believers say that we love to do. And that is, if we want to reach broken people, we have to be willing to go after them when they're broken. And so many people are going through so many things right now. There are people in your life right now who you can reach out to. Like it bothers me that we want to help kids who are in other countries and we don't even want to help kids who are in our own neighborhood. And that goes on into our mindset when it comes to wanting to help the people who are in our lives. It's like you got people who are in your phone right now who who are depressed, who are suicidal, who are going through things, because it never fails. I get this in memorandum of this person, in memory of this person. And, you have the people who are like, I just didn't know. How do you not know? There were signs. I know there were signs. But are we so busy with other stuff that we can't see the people who are around us? If we are, then we're way too busy. Especially if you got people who are living in your house, your spouse. Sometimes it's not, and I got to say this before I close this out. One of the worst things that you can hear when you're going through those things, especially with me, one of the worst things that it would irk me was, you need to get help. It's like, no crap, Sherlock. I know that. And I'm going to tell you why. Listen to me when I say this. And this may not be true for everybody, but for me and everybody else who's true this is for, listen to me when I say this. It's hard for you to believe that you can get help and that help is going to work when you feel like you are a problem that cannot be fixed. That's why I do not believe that suicide is selfish. For so many people, suicide is a final answer to a problem that they do not feel like can be solved. When you don't feel like you can be fixed, then listen to me. You don't think that help is needed. You do not think that help is going to work. So I can go see a therapist, but I do not feel like the therapist is going to help me. That's the reason why suicide exists. It's not selfish for so many people. It is a solution. You look at it as selfish because it also affects you. I get it. But you take it as you just thought about yourself, because they thought they were the problem. And therein lies the problem. When we can't have a safe enough environment where we can share ourselves with other people to know that we are not the problem. Heavy episode, I know. Share it with your family, your friends. Let's reach out to each other. Let's love each other. How can I be a brother to you? I love you. Introduces.